So when you watch Moe hit golf balls, you see his feet are down through impact, all the way past impact, even into release. Have you ever wondered why? Today we're going to talk about decoding Moe and why his feet were on the ground all the way through impact. So there's no better feeling knowing that when you wake up in the morning to go play golf, so that you're going to play well. There's no better feeling of hitting good golf shots down the fairway. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing.
And I play into my lane. I play into my lane. Okay. And I roll my ankles. I don't lift my ankles. My big foot, my left foot never moves. Back or through. My big toe never moves. Never moves. The big toe of my left foot never moves. I'm in awe here. I don't know what. Oh. This move here, something else. Oh yeah, Hogan night, sure. We play into our lane. We play into our lane. We don't play on top of our lane. Buckle, sit, slide, bump. Sure. Buckle, sit, slide, bump. Buckle, sit, slide. Hogan night. Buckle, sit, slide, bump. Buckle. Every time. Norman? No, I think golfers goes a lot like politicians. Yeah. 99% of golfers do a lot of talking and not much doing. It's kind of like there's a lot of doing, not much talking. I let people see it. Yeah. And seeing is believing. See somebody do it. Well, I think the way you teach somebody how to do something, it would be like you show them how to do it. Tell them how to do it, show them how to do it, and let them try to do it. And they'll let you start doing it. That's just a good way. Like you say, people can only talk, but they can't do it. Your top teachers. Not one can hit the ball decent. Maybe Todd. Flicks, Strasbaugh, Jacobs, Earthly, Penning. All these guys can't pretty hit it. Can't even put the club on the ball. Doing the same mistakes, I got the same swing with every club. Hit these balls. My 9-iron swing's the same. My 9-iron swing's the same as my forward. Yeah. Never hurting the club hit. Never hurrying the hit. So balanced. Just leave it hanging back there. That's all. Leave it back there as long as I can. Leave my hands back there as long as I can. Oh yeah. No. What? You man said, he's the hell he's doing. He didn't what the hell he's doing. It's a shame they don't thread Moe down and find out. And learn how to do it right. Yeah. It's like a missile fire. Just right at you. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, all the thing. MOS, all the thing. MOS, never move it. Very seldom. I hit the ball, I don't hit the tee. You have good time with how far they go. Oh, yeah. Big thing, I got no wasted motion. I got no wasted motion. It's like a good bowler, or a good archer, or dart throw. Not. This looks like the only action he has. The ball's gone. Look up here. The bottom's all still. Oh, yeah. There it is. No, that's what the club is. I'm talking about. I'm talking about he don't have all this fancy footwork. All that down. Keep your feet still. Just keep them down below your knees. Keep your feet down below your knees.
So one of the unique things about Moe's swing, which I think is probably one of the greatest things for developing your golf swing, is what Moe did with his legs and his feet. And you have to look at his ankles as well. Now, if you look, a good friend of mine, Terry Hashimoto, does a lot of work with the feet. Look him up. He is very much into the proper stabilization of the feet and how it affects your golf swing. But when you watch Moe Norman swing, he is a pure model for how you should use your feet, your legs, and your ankles. So what you see in Moe's swing and what you see in that video is unique to the single plane swing, which is you want your feet on the ground through impact, both feet. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, you see your feet on the ground in the backswing, you transition, and then when you come down, both feet are on the ground at impact, and then release. Now, one of the things Moe talks about is he rolls his ankles, which I really like that, because what it's saying is, how do you can't, if you lift your feet, you can't roll the ankles. The ankles are moving this direction, rolling down. So the foot's on the ground and the ankles are moving down. This creates a limitation of the lower body. But I want to back up a step before we get too far into how the feet work and why Moe is talking about that, is that this is all related to the single plane swing. And what I mean by that is, in the video 1 and video 2, we talked about why Moe's swing, as we decode this, is easier. Well, one of the reasons is very simple. It's on the single plane, which means you're starting and impacting the club on the same space from the body. I want to review that really fast because this is something you really need to get right. If you master the single plane address position, what you get is at address, you have the club, because of tilt, and you go back and review the video, and the non-rotational trail hand, you have the club starting and impacting on the same plane. The same space of your body and your hands are starting and impacting with the same space. Keep that in mind, all right? Now, why is that important? Because if you don't have the correct spacing, if you're too close to the ball, conventional golf, then you have to lift the body. So there has to be a lifting of the body, and the feet are the way that you create space. Because if you stand too close to the ball, how would you create space? Well, you've got to lift something, right? So you've got to get out of the way somewhere, and you see people's feet lift off the ground. Watch some of the tour players. They're lifting their bodies off the ground because they have a spatial problem. This is what I call the one mistake, by the way. Well, Moe solved that problem. And what he did was, by solving the spatial problem with the single plane at address, he now is able to stabilize the lower body in a more effective and efficient way. And that's why he talked about the things. I play into my legs, that's important. I roll my ankles, and my big toe of my left foot never moves. So there's some things Moe says when he's talking about his footwork. Well, let's go through that, right? So basically, I play into my legs. Well, see, Moe said two things. You either play into your legs or you play on top of your legs, right? If you're moving the legs like this, your upper body's on top of the legs. If your knee is bent and you're rolling your ankles, you're playing into your legs. Moe wanted you playing into your legs because you're on a single plane. Well, what this does is you have power coming from your heels and stability coming from your toes. This is what's happening in the feet. And the ankles are allowed because when I'm in the backswing here, my weight is on my right heel. When I transition, which means I move into my lead knee, look what happens. I stabilize into my lead toe. This is where Moe stabilized the lower body. That's why he said I play into my lead foot. Because here's what happens. Once your weight goes into your lead foot, guess what? You can rotate your upper body as fast as you want. But here's some conditions that Moe figured out. If you study golf swings, the speed is coming from the rotation of the upper body, the arms, and the hands releasing. That's where speed is coming from. Speed is not coming from lower body. Now, you might argue that point. The lower body contributes to speed because it stabilizes and rotates enough to allow the upper body to then be used. For example, if you're stable down here, you can use this to produce speed. If you're unstable in your lower body, which I see a lot, you can't produce speed. So let me rephrase that. The lower body does not produce speed. It is used by the upper body to produce speed. That's what the science says. So what I want you to understand is, how do you use the lower body effectively? So here's what you can do. Starting on a single plane, this is what Moe figured out. You play into your legs. Basically, in the backswing, you brace against the trail leg. Now, what I mean by bracing against the trail leg, I'm on the inside of the leg into the heel. That creates it stabilizes my trail leg, but it creates a limitation of rotation because I'm not lifting my lead foot, right? So I'm stable. It's a stabilization there. Well, why do I want that? Because I can then push off the inside of my foot here, my heel. The ankle rolls forward into my lead knee. See that stabilization? That knee goes towards the toe. See what's happening here is I'm able to push my weight into that knee and get stable. Why? Because now I can rotate both pelvis and torso. And when I do that, stability, rotation. So I'm rotating pelvis and torso. And by the way, I'm rotating as much as I want, but here's my limitation. If I keep my foot down, you can roll it if you want, and let my ankle roll down, like Moe said, into that knee, it creates a limitation which allows my upper body to then have more freedom to produce speed. That's a limitation Moe figured out. Roll into your ankles, keep your trail foot down, and work into your lead foot, lead toe. That's the beauty of what Moe figured out. And let me just wrap up by saying this. Moe may not have understood the biomechanics of what he did. He may have not understood that, right? He may have not known the science behind it, which is what a lot of the work that I've done has been to understand what's actually happening inside of that motion. But from Moe's perspective, where he stood, he certainly understood it. And he certainly knew when he felt his golf swing, when he was hitting good golf shots, and he perfected the golf swing. And what he figured out intuitively was the most efficient biomechanical way to do what? We talked about this in video 1, is to start and get back to the most important moment, which is impact, which is, by the way, and I'm going to wrap up by saying this, if you're not working on your ability to get the club to impact more efficiently, you're not working on your swing, and Moe figured that out. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications anytime I produce a video. And if you want to check out my book, The Single Plane Golf Swing, Play Better Golf the Moe Norman Way, click the link on the video or click the link below. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.